Now, the main reason we come to cellophane, the Mechanical and Optical Awards for the telescope competition. And here to present these awards are the head judges, Chris Houghton and Rick Hunter of the Springfield Telescope Makers.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, hopefully this will cheer us up a bit. Somewhere here I have the results. Hopefully I didn't lose them. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to call up the names of all of the winners. And it's in alphabetical order. And we're going to ask that you stay here through the presentation of all the awards. And the reason for that is because there's a possibility that people have won more than one award. Okay, first we'd like to call, and when I call your name, just please walk up and line up as best you can right here. This is random, as in it's alphabetical, for all the winners of Optical and Mechanical. Okay. Colin Casey, William Chang, Gary Friskhorn, David Groski, Peter Galajanian, Sam Kay, Brian Lacoe, Francis Manasek, Joe Manning, Daniel Octo, James Padpu Lusha, I got that right, Ross Sackett, and Jeremy Schmidt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I got the screen.
Okay.
I just want to point out Mr. Podpaluka is carrying his bag of eyepieces that he said he didn't know how to use. I think he'll figure something out.
Okay, so first, Rick's going to present the optical awards, and then following that, I'll present the mechanical awards.
First of all, I want to say that in terms of hobbies, people think that the creativity of building and creating things is somehow reducing in the modern age. This is evidence that it's not. I won't make a speech, but every one of these folks built something amazing and made it work in front of the judges. If you've ever done anything in front of the judges, you know that's the nerve-wracking thing. So I want to just honor them all. Just take a look. They all did something creative, and let's... because some of them undoubtedly won more than one thing. So everybody stay. I'm going to name some people now, and I believe that Chris is going to put on the screen their actual telescope. Right? Okay, so there are 3 categories for optical awards: small Newtonians, large Newtonians, and complex optical systems. We had multiple entries in all categories this time, and good winners in all categories. You weren't just dredging up somebody, some back marker and saying this is the best of the bad lot. These were the best of the good lot. Okay, here we go. In 3rd place for small Newtonians, from Watertown, Massachusetts, Jeremy Schmidt. In 2nd place, and by the way, some of these people are here multiple years, and so they're here frequently with new creative efforts. I'm reminded of that in 2nd place for small Newtonians. From Mount Jackson, Virginia, William Chang. President of the club, Brad Beachy, and fellow optical judge, I must brag, is handing out the awards. And in 1st place, with a clear winner, a lovely telescope that I actually observed with last night after the judging. Let's hear it for Brian LeCue. Newtonians. This is Newtonians larger than 12 and a half inches, or 12 and a half inches and larger. In second place, they built the telescope together. One did the optics and one did the mechanics. From Blue Springs, Missouri, Mike Larkin, and from DeSoto, Kansas, Doug Zubadell. Second place large Newtonian. This is the second place large Newtonian.
Where's Mike? I'll take it home.
Here, here, here.
Doug.
Where are you, Mike? You guys didn't go on.
And I want to, speaking of creative efforts, I'd like to thank him for his beautiful presentation on Leslie Peltier this afternoon. And in first place for large Newtonians, from Bel Air, Maryland, Joe Manning. And now we get to the telescopes that we not only can't imagine how anybody can do such wonderful work, we can't even imagine how it works. They're so complicated. Some of these things are really wild, and I will tell you. First of all, everybody that comes to Stellafane and everybody that builds a mirror, that is, everybody that actually builds a mirror and becomes a member or enters a telescope, almost all of them build Newtonian reflectors because there's only one surface. The man I'm about to name, who can't figure out what to do with his eyepiece, you're not going to live that one down.
Now I got a scope to use it.
The man I'm about to name made 4 near-perfect optical surfaces just to make one instrument. In second place for compound optical systems with a 6-inch f15 refractor from Milford, Connecticut, James Podpaluka. The judging group that judged the compound scopes was myself and Phil Roundsville. I'm just a backmarker amateur optician, but my co-judge, Phil Roundsville, is a professional optician. And he couldn't imagine how this thing was made to work so well, this next one. It is beautifully made mechanically and optically, and we can't understand how it works so well. From Dayton, Maryland, with a 6-inch f5 binocular that's as wonderful to look at as through, Gary Friscorn. And we were lucky because we got to do with them what they're supposed to do, look at astronomical objects. So thank you for entering them. And here is Chris Houghton, who will now tell us who the mechanical is.
Okay, even though we didn't get to look through the telescopes, we still had a great time out there. We only had 25 entrants this year, which I think is a little bit lower than average, perhaps, but the quality was very high. In fact, I think the on-the-field time went quite a bit faster than it normally does. However, we spent a lot of time in the clubhouse sorting it out. So there was a lot of tough competition. Okay, we have the following categories. We have mechanical design, craftsmanship, and then we give an award for an innovative component, and we give normally an award in what we call the special category. This year we gave multiple awards in that category. And finally we have a junior award. Okay? So starting with the, no cheating. Starting with the mechanical category. In third place, hold on here. Yeah, actually, I'll take that back. I'm going to describe one more thing, and that is that we gave an actual honorable mention this year, and no turning around either. And this is not necessarily always the case that we give 4 awards, but consistent with what I was saying about the difficulty with clubhouse deliberations, it seemed worthy. Okay, so the honorable mention this year goes to Francis Mansky for his 4.2-inch f/6.2 Newtonian German equatorial. Francis here? Okay, we did call his name. Yes, probably his name. Okay, we'll move on to 3rd place, mechanical design, goes to James Papaluca from Milford, Connecticut, for a 6-inch F-15 tractor. Rather than Okay. 2nd place in mechanical design goes to Ross Sackett of Memphis, Tennessee, for his 12.5-inch F-5 Newtonian. And a lot of these scopes I really want to get up and use tonight if we're not going to be washed out. Okay, for 1st place in mechanical design, we have, goes to Gary Friskhorn from Dayton, Maryland. I had an opportunity to sit in them, even though I wasn't an optical judge. Okay, so that concludes the mechanical design category. The next category is craftsmanship, and this is more reflective of the quality of workmanship and the effort and care put into the execution of the design. So starting with 3rd place, now you may say, where's the honorable mention here? We actually had a tie for 3rd place. We just couldn't split it, and this is part of spending a lot of time in the clubhouse deliberating. So our first 3rd place award goes to Daniel Octu from Machine Montreal. Okay, and our second 3rd place goes to James Papaluca from Milford, Connecticut. Okay, the 2nd place award goes to Ross Sackett of Memphis, Tennessee, for his 12.5. Okay, now the 1st place award in craftsmanship goes to Gary Friskhorn from Dayton, Maryland. No conspiracy, it wasn't rigged. Okay, now we're going to move to the category of innovative component. And this was a tough one this year. We had, I don't know, we had 4 or 5 that we were juggling back and forth on. And we were toying with the idea of giving 1st, 2nd, and 3rd mechanical component, or innovative component, but that just didn't seem to fit the bill since it's supposed to be the innovative component. So the award this year for innovative component goes to Dave Groski for his swing rod bearing. Mechanical engineers on the judging committee, and it was pretty unanimous amongst them, and pretty clear amongst the rest of us as well. Okay, the next category is the special award, and notice I even went ahead and said award. Well, this year we're giving 3. I'd say more normally we wouldn't. The 3rd place special award, and you have to let me just study this for a second to make sure I mention properly what the award is for. The 3rd place award goes to Daniel Octo for his sitting ladder or his observing chair, combination mosquito netting, umbrella. Okay, the 2nd place in the special category goes to Francis Manasek for his speculum metal mirror. And is he here? I saw him earlier. Okay, he must have stepped out. This reminds me of something that's important to mention. Not a single of these entrants actually entered in the special category. when we walked around and we saw some of these things, we decided that really, you know, you might have wanted to have entered that special category. So we kind of took it amongst ourselves to enter you. maybe that's why we had 3 awards instead of 1, but it seemed like the right thing to do. We'll get that award to Francis. The speculum mirror. Yep. Well, the focuser was nice, but it was really the speculum mirror. Actually, a bit more on that. He cast it himself. Okay? So talk about making your mirror. He described how he left out some of the components that they used in the old days, like arsenic. But it still worked. Okay, first place in the special award category goes to Colin Casey from Whitefield, Maine, and also Peter Kalajian, who's from Camden, for the bowling ball mount. Okay, you guys had entered this as a telescope, but we decided that the tracking bowling ball mount and the way you would implement it was deserving of a special award. Thank you. Okay, so with luck, we'll have equal quality or greater participation in the awards and future cellophanes, and thanks to all the contestants and all those who entered. Oh, the Junior Award. Who does the Junior Award go to? Almost seems like I did that on purpose, but really I didn't. Okay, let me just get details right here. Okay, the Junior Award this year goes to Sam Kay from Shelburne, Vermont, for a 6-inch F8 Newtonian dot. And Sam, you did a great job. To be honest, Sam was not the most talkative with us, but we could tell that he was proud of his instrument. He was hanging there all day, waiting for the judges to come through, and we commend him for that. And we hope that all the people that went away with mirror kits can come back in the junior category next year as well. Thank you.
I just want to say 2 things. First of all, in horse racing, they call a triple crown winner. One who wins the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont Stakes, and the Preakness, all in the same year, because it's all for 3-year-olds, right? We call a triple crown winner one who wins first place in 3 categories, mechanical and optical, and first place in 3 categories, not just an award in 3 categories. Notice Barry Friscorn did that this year. He's the first one, I think, since George East about 30 years ago. So that was really amazing. And one other thing, the judges could not do our work. We didn't have some help coordinating the whole thing, finding a judging committee to actually work with us, having meetings to get it all organized, getting the certificates in order, getting lists to us, because we forgot what we did last night. I slept and who knows what happened. I would like to thank Ileana Philby and Jay Spiegel in particular for being the judging coordinator.
Let's give all the people that won tonight, all the people that entered, and the judges a great hand. Thank you all very much.